Oh my gosh, you guys, I've got a jam-packed mid-year market update full of stats, graphs, and where I think the second half of this year is going. So let's dive in. First off, let me just say that I'm a data nerd. I love looking at the numbers, slicing and dicing them for insights, lesser known opportunities, and potential sweet spots for my clients. All this stuff swirls around in my many spreadsheets. And while a lot of agents will share these fast stats, very few explain what they actually mean, synthesize their recommendations, or provide those hidden gems and insights. And I'm frankly just not one of those agents. I actually hate these fast stats. Don't get me wrong. They're a great flash in the pan graphic, but they do not, in my humble opinion, paint a contextual picture of what the trends are in our market and where they're likely to head. They literally compare a particular month with the same month from the previous year. And maybe that works for you, but it doesn't for me. Instead, I want to give you a true view of what's been happening in our area this year, along with some opportunities and insights. But don't stress. There's a lot of data I'm about to walk through, so feel free to stop and start as needed, take in all the information, and of course, if you want to discuss or dig in any further, I'm your data nerd with a real estate license. So let's get started. Let's start by taking a quick look at the demand in the Kansas City metro area. And I put this graphic here to kind of describe to you what a balanced market should look like. And a balanced market generally has 5 to 6 months of inventory. As you can see, we're at 1.7 in July. Inventory generally increases May through June, as a lot of people wait until summer to move, generally associated with the least amount of disruption to kids in school. But inventory has slowly been increasing. However, it's still a seller's market. Inventory has been increasing since April, which is typical for this time of year, but July saw a sharp decline in closed sales by over 550 units and pending sales by over 350 units, while overall inventory increased, but barely moved the needle, implying sellers were slow to list this summer and didn't catch the typical upswing in market activity that naturally occurs April to June. We've also witnessed general seller behavior to list their homes at or near COVID prices and waiting way too long to reduce. And we think that may have contributed to the closed and pending sales slump in July because we're expecting to see it continue through August. Obviously, interest rates had an impact on everything this year and last. 30-year fixed mortgage rates saw a steep increase in March and then took a nosedive in April, which likely put more buyers in the market. A lot of pre-approvals were generated in April. I know we definitely experienced that, which helped propel a somewhat stagnating market heading into the typical hot time of the year. However, interest rates were aggressively increased in May, June, and July, and unfortunately that continues into August based on the data that we have so far, which based on the trending data will result in lower closed sales volume for August. So let's kind of take a look at that like average time to sell mixed in with the total inventory available. February, March, and April, in part due to fluctuating interest rates, was met with a higher number of average days to sell while seeing slight declines in the available inventory, not a ton. With the help of decreasing interest rates kicking us off in April, coupled with typical market seasonality, the average days to sell saw sharp declines in April, May, and June, while inventory only moderately increased in May, June, and July. The uptick in average days to sell in July will continue to increase as we're currently hovering at 41 days in mid-August, with a total inventory increase of almost 600 units just so far in August. But this is the law of supply and demand at work, because demand always increases in April, May, and June. That's our seasonality. We typically see a jump in sales prices and a dip in the number of days on market between March and April into May. I believe is attributable to the lower interest rates offered in April, coupled with the natural seasonal demand. Lack of supply overall, however, is still playing a part, bringing the number of days on market down and existing supply is being gobbled up. As you can see, July is starting to trend toward convergence, which means we're already seeing a bit of a cool on the fall market. But let's add a little bit more national color to the conversation. I belong to this little known association called the National Association of Realtors, and they employ some of the smartest people to research and provide relevant information to their agent subscriber members like me, as well as the general public. The info I'm about to share with you can be found on nar.realtor and is provided by the NAR chief economist Lawrence Yoon and his team. So NAR is currently forecasting that 30-year fixed mortgage rates will stay between 6.4 and 7% throughout the rest of this year. But they believe that the interest rates in 2024 will hover around 6%. So basically more of the same. Mr. Yoon also recently said, quote, with consumer price inflation calming close to the Federal Reserve's desired conditions, mortgage rates look to have topped out. Given the ongoing job additions, any meaningful decline in mortgage rates could lead to a rush of buyers in the year and into the next. But in a twist, NAR's also forecasting that the unemployment rates will rise slightly to 3.7% in 2023 before increasing to 4.1% in 2024. Now, we're going to get into the unemployment rates in our local counties a little bit later as well to talk about the seasonality of the market as well as election cycles. But while we're here, NAR also states median home sales will decrease 12.9% this year compared to 2022, but they'll climb 15.5% in 2024. What I don't see yet is any mention of how the election cycle is impacting the housing market. 2024 is a presidential election year, and in my experience, we always see a bit of a skittish market during election years. So I'll be watching for more nuanced data coming out over the next few months. But the Midwest specifically is thriving compared to the rest of the nation. National Association of Realtors expects existing home sales to decrease 12.9% in 2023 from 2022 before climbing almost 15.5% in 2024. Compared to last year, national median existing home prices will remain steady, declining only 0.4% before rebounding by 2.6% next year. The West, the country's most expensive region, will see reduced prices, while the more affordable Midwest region is likely to see a small positive increase. Housing starts, which are new construction, will drop a little more than 5% this year before increasing 5.4% in 2024. But let's dig in a little deeper into our local market data and focus on several counties in the metro area. We're going to take a look at specifically single-family resale homes in Johnson, Wyandotte, and Leavenworth counties on the Kansas side, as well as Jackson, Cass, and Clay counties on the Missouri side. This will not include new construction homes, multifamily land, or any commercial properties. But if there's another county in the KC metro area that you'd like this data for, just shoot me a message. So let's start on the Kansas side with Johnson County. Looking strictly at Johnson County, Kansas, we see that there are currently 364 single-family homes for sale. They've been on the market for an average of 37 days. Contrasting that with the last 5 months, the average days on market was 12. 36% of single-family homes currently active in Johnson County have been on the market more than 30 days. 25% of those homes have had a price reduction. When we scooch over to Wyandotte County, we can see there are currently only 138 single-family homes for sale, and they've been on the market for an average of about 34 days. Contrasting that, in the last 5 months, the average days on market was 24. 40% of single-family homes currently active in the county have been on the market for more than 30 days, and 62% of those homes have had a price reduction. Let's take a quick peek at Leavenworth County. There are currently 97 single-family homes for sale, and they've been on the market for an average of about 105 days. In the last 5 months, the average days on market was only 26. 57% of single-family homes currently active in the county have been on the market more than 30 days. 55% of those homes have had a price reduction. Let's pop over to the state line and take a look at Cass County, Missouri, which is on the south side of the KC Metro. There are currently 141 single-family homes for sale. They've been on the market for an average of 65 days. Contrasting that, within the last 5 months, the average days on market was 26. So we're starting to see a big increase really across the metro area that homes that are currently on the market continue to stay on the market. So 50% of the single-family homes currently active in Cass County have been on the market more than 30 days, more than half. 65% of those homes have had a price reduction. When we head up north to Clay County, there are currently 220 single-family homes for sale. They've been on the market for an average about 38 days, The last 5 months, though, they've been on the market 17 days. 40% of the current single-family homes active in this county have been on the market more than 30 days. 67% of those homes have had a price reduction. Clay County has been the most aggressive with their price reductions so far. The largest county in our metro area, Jackson County, Missouri, has seen a lot of upheaval in the industry this year. Between the ban on short-term rentals and the newly inflated property tax rate, it's been rough. But let's take a look at the data. So there currently are 839 single-family homes for sale. They've been on the market for an average of 47 days. Over the last 5 months, the average days on market was only 25. 44% of the single-family homes currently active in the county have been on the market more than 30 days, and 65% of those homes have had a price reduction. Jackson County has been the second most aggressive county with price reductions. So just a quick recap. Most homes actively for sale, Jackson County. Longest average days on market, Leavenworth County. Most homes on the market more than 30 days, Leavenworth County. Most homes on the market 30 or more days with a price reduction, Clay County. So I'll be honest, if I'm an investor, I'm definitely focusing my attention on Clay County on the Missouri side and Leavenworth County on the Kansas side. If you'd like a list of properties available on and off market in these areas, shoot me a message, I'll get you a list. So what does this mean for the second half of the year? And I'm totally over my 3 minutes, but at the end of the day, what I'm looking for are context clues as to what we might expect from the second half of the year. But I have a caveat. No one has a crystal ball. I sure would pay a whole lot of money for one though. So just keep in mind, I'm making well-educated guesses based on trends, historical data, market seasonality, and of course, my years of experience. Affordability has been greatly impacted by interest rates, which we all know. But I feel like it monkeyed with our summer more than it has in the past. It created this rush of buyers in April that honestly couldn't find what they were looking for in the midst of sharp increases in the interest rates we see today. We kind of call that champagne taste on a beer budget. But their delay pushed them out of the market altogether. It's creating, frankly, a really ripe situation for investors this fall and winter, and I think we'll see a lot more homes being sold to individual and small-scale investors. So right now, if you're looking for a sweet deal to live in or to add to your portfolio, I recommend focusing on homes with 60-plus days on market. Let me know if you'd be interested in that list. I can send you those properties and some additional details. But I think we're going to see a much slower market this fall and winter, in part due to typical seasonality, but also interest rates are not going to drop. Small and mid-scale investors will be buying up properties for 95 to 96% of their current list price. We're already seeing that trend in the data. Sellers will unfortunately take longer to adjust their expectations, and agents will work really hard to right that ship and get the best deal they can for their clients. But those agents are going to be stressed. The slower the market, the more distasteful what we call commission breath becomes. It's important to work with an agent that can weather these kinds of storms and not lose focus. There will be price reductions. Some folks are still unfortunately operating on the crazy pricing we saw during COVID. Well, you're too late for that. But you can still get there if you're willing to be more strategic in your pricing. Because without some realization by sellers and their agents that they're overpricing the property, most folks are going to wait for a little bit for more of that desperation to set in before they will pounce on a property. And when that happens, you can expect more repair requests, hefty home warranties, increased seller paid closing costs and prepaids. So to counter that, sellers and their agents are really going to need to be very strategic about their pricing and will benefit greater by making repairs and upgrades, staging, and going back to the days of legit listing marketing plans. We have robust solutions for all of that, but there will be no more plopping signs in yards, and getting a fully executed contract in a mere couple of hours. Those days are gone. The next thing is more creative financing options, and I am really excited about this. When the lending market tightens, like it always does in an election year, which we have coming up, we haven't really talked about that yet, but when rates are high, people get creative. So do lenders. There are a lot of options to creatively finance your way into a home, and for sellers, offering more creative financing options may mean higher price points and more cash in your pocket. There's purchase money mortgages, seller carrybacks, subject tos, hybrid purchase money mortgages with the seller carryback, and there are lenders even offering 1% down on conventional loan programs. There's family opportunity loans, lender paid buy downs, HELOCs on your listed home. There's a lot of options. I'd be more than happy to walk you through those options and connect you with the right lender if you decide to go that route. But this is a fantastic strategy, and these creative financing options are going to become more available. And the quicker agents and sellers get on board with understanding those options and what they mean to their bottom line, the better off they're going to be. Because at the end of the day, people will still need to buy and people will still need to sell, no matter what the market is doing. But being more aware, asking more questions, digging into the options and opportunities, and working with competent professionals will be the key to getting good deals and keeping more of your hard-earned money and equity. I hope you found this information helpful, and if you'd like more details on anything I've shared, please let me know. I'm a data nerd. I love this stuff. Thank you.